Hi-ho, Brandon the Pugilist here, continuing my series on striking. And in this video, I want to discuss a little bit about hand positioning. In a real fight, a real self-defense situation, one of your key priorities is protecting your box, basically your neck, face, and head. For a variety of reasons that really are pretty self-evident. For one, most people tend to be headhunters. You look at street fights or altercations, what you see is up to maybe 90% of the punches are thrown at the face and the head. Similarly, that's how people score knockouts, by usually getting hit in the chin or around the jaw area. Eye gouges are obviously directed at the eyes. If a blade is involved, which is always something you have to consider, if someone slashes your carotid artery, chances are very good you're going to die pretty quickly. So, to protect those areas, you want to have your hands positioned in up high, and I like to think of it as either on the jaw, the cheeks, or the temples. So jaw, cheek, temples. If you're into like little memory devices, you can think about just can't touch my head. And it's kind of silly, but you know, there you go. Each of these has advantages, disadvantages, and it really a lot of times comes down to personal preference. Resting here around the jawline is often the most comfortable, the easiest to do for a long period of time, but it exposes a lot, your nose and your eyes. And yeah, getting hit in the nose can really, ruin your day and kind of really throw off your game. Cheeks offer a bit more protection. It's easier to go up, protect the eyes. Your nose is protected. You still have good visibility, and again, it's a position you can hold without getting too exhausted. Temples, a little bit trickier. It does open up a wide space here that a punch can come in, but it also makes it pretty simple to just sort of crash and avoid a hit that way. And there's nothing wrong with this. This is a very good, simple defensive technique. To avoid getting tired, a lot of times what is a good thing to do is just sort of roll your shoulders forward so that your triceps are actually resting on your chest. And then you can hold this kind of position for a lot longer. Personally, I like the cheeks. It's just more natural for me. I can hold it for a while, so that's my preference. There are some alternate hand positions you may see. One I'll sometimes use is sort of kind of a modified Wing Chun center line kind of strategy, but instead of down here, up high, where my hands are kind of making right in line with my nose and the center of my face. This is actually a technique I find tends to work better with tall people with very long arms like yours truly, because it gives you a lot of room to kind of intercept the punches coming in. I mean, I'm a big fan of having up here punch, hit, trap, punch. So that's one option kind of out here, but it does require a bit more skill. These kind of positions, again, are pretty easy because even if you're just here, you can just sort of move and deflect a lot of punches. In Muay Thai, they tend to have this very high position up here, which is effective. I don't like how much it opens up, but it's certainly something to experiment with. You see other styles have this very kind of low hand position. A lot of times grappling styles that are pure grappling will have hands down here because they're mostly concerned about someone rushing in for a takedown or a body lock or something of that nature, which is of course a real concern, but getting hit in the face or stabbed in the throat is a bigger concern in a self-defense situation. You also see some styles have this kind of thing where they're down here and they're holding like an invisible katana. I really don't see the point of that unless you're, a wannabe LARPing samurai, but I've never seen a rational reason to have your hands in that position. It's also worth, that was my cat who just went by, if you saw that flash of tail. Another thing to think about though about these low positions versus the high positions, besides just protecting the head, is it's much more instinctive and natural if you're up here and a shot comes in low, to drop your hands than it is to have your hands down here and raise your hands. This is slower and it's less instinctive. Your hands want to naturally come down. If you watch boxers or MMA fighters, you'll see as they get tired, it kind of goes down. Gravity is working with you here. So even if you are concerned about being hit in the gut or someone going in for a takedown or getting stabbed in the gut, remember, if stabbed in the gut, you will probably survive. Stabbed in the throat, not necessarily. It's a lot easier to just go drop down here than it is you see a punch coming and fly up here. So I'm not really a fan of these kind of low stances. So again, to reiterate, protect your box. Wu-Tang would say, protect your neck. Jaw, chin, temple, just can't touch my head. Hopefully that was helpful. Hope you weren't too distracted by Zelda's tail just coming into the screen, and I will see you next time for this continuing series. Thank you.